Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys a brand new video today, and today we've got something incredibly special planned. We are doing our second round of Guess That Grade with TGA, the grading authority, and I've also got a set of vintage packs to open today. Yes, that is a Neo Genesis pack and 2 packs of vintage Dragon Frontier. Incredible EX era sets and Neo Genesis. It is gonna be an incredible video. I'm super excited to make this one, and I hope you guys are excited to watch it. If you enjoy the Pokemon TCG content, be sure to hit that like button down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and bring some positive vibes as we are aiming to pull some amazing stuff in those Dragon Frontier packs today. Potentially our first ever gold star card. But before we jump into those pack openings, I am gonna do some Guess That Grade. And last Guess That Grade I'll have in the comments or in the description below. You can see we got this beautiful Scissor GX10 from TGA. For those that don't know, TGA is the grading authority. It's a grading company that you can submit your cards to be preserved and authenticated to either sell or keep in your own personal collection. We only charge $20 a card to get this beautiful slab and to get it authenticated, which is way less than the other guys. PSA, BGS, some of these other companies are charging $150, $200 a card to get graded right now, and we just charge 20 bucks a card with a 30 business day turnaround. It's incredible. So if you ever want to get your cards graded, definitely check out TGA, and I'll be sending my stuff to TGA that we're breaking down in this video. So that's exciting. We're gonna open up these couple packs here as well. Maybe I'll get something worth sending to TGA today, and then ultimately we're gonna have some amazing stuff at the end of the video, and we're gonna check out what our grades actually are. So let's see the cards that we're gonna be grading for this week of Guess That Grade. And your rare and potential holo in the Neo Genesis Unlimited Break. Will Brady Slash get the beginner's luck, their first ever break? You ready?
Oh yeah, no, I
Okay.
totally forgot what was happening. Yes, I'm ready, let's do this, okay.
Here we go. The rare is... Oh, we have a Heracross! The Heracross clause is activated, Brady. All right, so the first thing I'm actually gonna be submitting is this beautiful Heracross, and it's actually pretty cool because the first ever break we did on the channel was a first edition Neo Discovery, and we did not get the first edition Heracross, but I did get it in the unlimited version. So this is that exact card. I love this card so much, and I'm excited to send it in for grading. The one big downside of this, and it's a little hard to see, is that there is a print line right there going down the card. There is a print line on it. I think that immediately dings it from anything better than probably an 8, or maybe an 8.5. So otherwise, like when I look on the back, it's actually pretty good. A little bit of whitening on the top there, a little bit of whitening around the edges overall, nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna say that this actually comes back because the centering's pretty solid and there's not any other real big kind of issues with it from what I see. I feel like this is coming back as an 8. So I'm gonna make the guess that it's gonna be an 8. I could see it being as low as a 7.5, maybe even an 8.5 if I get lucky, but I think that whitening brings it down a little bit, and that print line probably brings it down. So I'm gonna say an 8 on this Heracross, and I'm gonna be going with the blue label on this beauty.
Come on, Lugia.
That would be really awesome.
I want to scream so loud right now. I want to do it.
Here we go. Meganium! Yeah! Dude, I love it! That's the one I wanted!
Oh man, I'm so happy.
Oh my goodness. The next card is actually a Meganium from that same exact event, which is really cool. I ended up pulling this Meganium. My favorite of the Generation 2 starters is Chikorita, so I'm pretty excited to have this as a card in my collection. Obviously, centering's pretty solid on this one. It looks really good on both, but we see that same whitening, right? The whitening on the bottom, kind of all around the card as well. This one is missing that print line, so I feel like it definitely goes a little higher. I don't see a print line on it. So this one most likely aims a little bit higher. Centering is a little off to the left in terms of the front facing of the card. And honestly, top to bottom looks pretty solid. I don't really see any major issues on the front of the card. So I'm actually gonna come and guess this one to be an 8.5. I'm gonna say this is an 8.5. I don't think it hits much higher than that. Maybe it gets a 9, but I think the whitening around the edges is gonna ding it on anything significant there. Centering is solid enough though, so I can see it falling in the 9 category, but I'm gonna stick with my 8.5 guess on this Neo Genesis Meganium, and I'm gonna be going with a red label on this one. Too many hop-ups, bro. Reverse to cannon. Look! We got the Lugia! What the heck? Oh! Oh! This is the card that most people want in got some really cool stuff. This is a Lost Thunder Rainbow Lugia. This card is a very valuable card. I mean, we're talking a card that's worth, I think it can be worth like $1,500 in perfect condition. And I pulled this on stream while chasing down Shuckle and Genesect from that Lost Thunder set. And I will say centering is definitely pushed off a little bit to the left. It's definitely not perfectly centered on the front. It's not terrible. These GX cards are really hard to tell though, and it is a rainbow, so it's even harder to tell. Centering is a little off top to bottom as well, so I think we immediately lose a 10 just from the centering alone. It's close, but I don't think it falls in kind of the range that we're looking for there. And the back honestly looks really, really good. Maybe a little bit of whitening and edging on the very top there, but overall, this is a really solid card. Back centering is super good. I could see this falling in as a 9 or a 9.5. I'm gonna go a little on the higher side here, and I'm gonna say, assuming there's no surface issues, which I can't really tell, there may be a print line, but it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if that's normal. I kind of see something right about there, but I don't know if that's normal on these rainbows. I'm gonna give this a 9.5, but I could very much so see it being a 9. But I think it might be a 9.5. I don't think we get a 10 based on centering. 55-45 is the criteria for TGA, so I think we're gonna fall just outside of that. And your rare Hollow Fortress!
You just said I had Hollow Fortress last one.
Cat, what happened? A beautiful Fortress holographic here from Call of Legends, one of our old breaks that we did, and this is a really cool card. I'm gonna be going with the blue label with this one, I'm pretty sure, because I feel like it'll look really nice with that blue kind of matching the background. I guess I could go red label too. I have to kind of decide that. Maybe red label looks, maybe I'll go red label on the Fortress. I think the red label might actually look better. In terms of this card, the centering is solid. This one is gonna be really hard to grade, I feel like. I'm not even sure where to begin with this. There's definitely some whitening on the corners. So I'm gonna just throw a number out there. I'm gonna say this comes back as an 8.5. It's a little off to the right as well in centering on the front. I'm gonna say an 8.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back an 8, but I'm gonna say an 8.5 on this Fortress. That's what they really should do, just to create complete chaos. We got a Woobat into a, yo, no way! The God Box, bro, let's go! Oh, my God. Now we're getting to something a little bit more modern. We've got this Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. I'm gonna be opening up a lot of Evolving Skies on the channel because there's still a few cards that I want to get. So by the time this video goes up, maybe I've gotten that Umbreon I want. But this is Dragonite V, and I'll be definitely going with the blue label on this. I think that that's gonna look so clean with the blue label. And this is one of the top chase cards in Evolving Skies. Honestly, it's pack fresh, so it's in pretty good shape right out the gate. I maybe see a little bit of kind of whitening on the bottom and the front. I'm gonna say that alone probably dings us a little bit. Centering is super solid though. Overall, I would say the centering is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back a 9.5. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that it falls into a 10, but I'm gonna make the guess of a 9.5 and hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised with a 10, but I'm gonna say this is a 9.5 here. This is a beauty, by the way, and I'm so lucky to have this card in my collection. This is the Celebi promo card from, I believe it was Chilling Reign. This is very hard to get. It only came out in Japanese, and I was able to get it through my contact at Poke Japan, and I'm very happy with this card. I will say I don't think it's gonna be a 10. The centering on it is pushed a little bit to the left, so I think that immediately kind of falls outside of the right criteria. Japanese cards typically have better print quality, which is good, so that may be in our favor. I'm not sure if that little speck there in the top corner is whitening or if it's actually on the card. Okay, so good news, that little speck was actually not on the card, which is in our favor. So if the centering comes at 55-45, I think this could actually be a 10. I think it's outside of that though. I think it actually is gonna be like more like 60-40. So I'm gonna say this comes back as a 9.5 as well. Maybe as low as a 9. I don't quite think we get a 10 for it, but maybe that high quality Japanese print quality will give us that 10. Once those pre-orders are gone, we're not doing any more. This is the last batch, so. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Are you serious? And last but not least, I've got 2 Charizard VMAXs that I want to get graded. I've been holding on to these for a while, and I feel like it's so hard without a magnifying glass to really determine how good the centering is on some of these cards when they're all, you know, there's so much glitter on them and things like that. It's really hard to see, but overall, this is pack fresh. I don't see anything super bad with it. Like, the centering is really solid from what I can tell. I feel like this is a contender, and this is gonna be my first black label, by the way. This is a contender for a 10. I'm again gonna be conservative and say 9.5. And I'm gonna be real, I don't really see anything wrong with this Charizard either, just at first glance. And it's so hard to tell because I didn't clean the cards beforehand. There's just like kind of some dust on them from sitting in cases in a while. They've kind of just been sitting in these cases on my desk. But I'm gonna do another 9.5, but I actually could see either of these coming back as a 10. I really think that they're right on the cusp. So I remember when I pulled these two, I really felt like they were super good. So I would not be surprised if they came back at a really good grade. From what I can tell, they look really solid. So again, fingers crossed for that 10, but we'll have to see. So those are the cards we're gonna be grading for TGA for our Guess That Grade video, and I'm super excited about it. We've got a great collection of some vintage, some more modern stuff, and I'm really excited to see what we're gonna get back. Maybe we'll get a nice surprise and get a 10 like last time with our beautiful Scissor GX 10, which I didn't think was gonna be a 10, but it came back as a 10. The centering ended up being a little bit better than I initially anticipated. Still fell within that 55-45. So we'll see what happens, but my fingers are crossed, and now it is time to open up some vintage packs, baby. This is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna do Nidoking, Typhlosion, Neogenesis, and Dragon Frontier. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump into the vintage packs and hopefully get something worth grading with TGA to add into this video. I will say with Dragon Frontier, there is a particular card that I'm aiming for, and that is the Reverse Hollow Delta Fire type Heracross. That is what we were aiming for. If I can get that, that would honestly make my day. There's also the Gold Stars, of course, but that's really what we're aiming for. I never know the card trick on this set. Can I be real? I think it's 2, but it may be 1. I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna guess 2, and hopefully I don't get it wrong, because that's gonna be very anticlimactic. I think it's 2. Okay, so I have a Scramble Energy to kick this off, so I think I got the card trick right. Scramble Energy into a Dragonair. How beautiful is that? This set features Delta cards, so they're all Delta species, so this is a Grass-type Dragonair. Into a Psychic-type Trapinch. Oh, I love this set. Dragon Frontier is such a treat to open. A Steel-type Lediba. A Fighting-type Shelder. Switch. Oh, man. I'm all about the EX cards now that we just did that Legend Maker opening, too. Pupitar. A Reverse Hollow Cyndaquil. Look at that. Beautiful. Reverse Hollow Cyndaquil. And what will our last card be? Will I get a rare? A Feraligatr! Holographic Feraligatr. How did I pull 3 of these? I've legit pulled 3 of these in this set of packs. A holographic Feraligatr, electric type Delta species. This one's actually pretty clean. Looks like some whitening on the back though, on the top edges and stuff like that. I mean, I'll take that. That's an electric type Feraligatr holographic. That's not, honestly not bad at all. I'll sleeve the rest of those later, but I got these 2 pretty quickly into sleeves. Looks like there's like a little ding right there too on the Feraligatr. I don't really know what happened there. Print line, I guess. But that's okay. Still a really cool pull. I'll take it. Anytime you get a rare holo, that's always a win. All right, now we're gonna open up this Neo Genesis pack, which did come from our Neo Genesis break, which I'm really hyped about. I feel like that's gonna make for some really cool stuff. And I'm trying to remember if we were expecting another holo. I don't remember for sure if we were, but we're gonna find out right now. I do not know the card trick on this set either. I'm gonna guess it's 2? Okay, we've got a Fire Energy. I think it's actually 1. I'm just gonna be real. We've got a Cyndaquil. Totodile. Wait a minute. I thought I was gonna get Cyndaquil, Totodile, Chikorita in a row. Spinarak. Sunkern. Slowpoke. Pikachu. Yo! This pack is actually amazing. Miracle Berry. This is a great pack. New Pokédex. Quilava. And the rare is Holographic metal energy with a massive swirl. What? Look at that. Yo, that is beautiful. A holographic metal energy with an incredible swirl on it. That's dope, dude. That is actually dope. I'm gonna sleeve this thing immediately and we'll take a closer look at it. There's a fat print line in it. Just like my Heracross, dude. This pack actually came from the same box that my Heracross and Meganium came from. And like I said, this thing has a fat print line in it. I'll see if you can see it. Yeah, you could probably see it from this angle right there, right across the middle. Right across the middle there. Overall, not too shabby though. A little bit of whitening on the top there. Centering's pretty solid. I think I'm gonna pass on sending this in, but it's really beautiful. That beautiful swirl right there. I mean, I don't really want to get an energy graded right now, but maybe in the future we'll come back to this and we'll reminisce on the fact that I pulled a holo out of a Neo Genesis pack just randomly. We'll take that W, a metal energy holographic. And we're not even done yet because I have one more pack of Dragon Frontier Vintage. And you guys probably know my next vintage break is September 19th. I'm doing Diamond and Pearl Stormfront, actually. We're sold out. We sold out the day I announced it, which is pretty wild. So I'm really excited about that. But if you guys are ever looking for Pokemon cards, you guys can actually get them from my store, unpluggedgamestore.com. We have some of the lowest prices online. People have been loving our store, and I appreciate everyone who's been supporting. aDrivetTCG.com or unpluggedgamestore.com. Let's see if we can get some luck in this pack. We're gonna kick it off with a Vibrava Psychic type, a Scramble Energy again, Lediba, Steel type Lediba, Nidoran, we got a Dark type Nidoran, Elekid, Fighting type Elekid, Fire type Ralts, you gotta love that, Ekans, Fire type, and I think the next card is our Reverse Holo. I really want that Fire type Reverse Holo Heracross. I would lose my mind. Pinsir or Ledian would be cool too. It is a Reverse Holo Vulpix, which is cool. Not what I was aiming for, but still really cool. And the rare and final card of this pack is a Seadra. So unfortunately, nothing too crazy there. I do get this Vulpix, but man, I can't complain, dude. We got the Feraligatr in the first pack, and then we ultimately got the energy from Neo Genesis. So overall, just massive wins as I whack into my light there. Massive wins overall. Some really cool pulls today. I'll show you guys real quick some of the hot pulls we just had. I only opened 3 packs, and we got these. So I would say that that's a win, and that Metal Energy Swirl is pretty bonkers. Not bad at all, really. So that's it for part 1 of this video. Part 2, we'll show you guys the grades that we got here for Guess That Grade. I'm gonna go pack these up right now and send them off to TGA, and I'll see you guys for part 2. All right, so we are back with the Guess That Grade, and the grades are in from TGA, the grading authority, which just added some new color options to their slabs. Amazing stuff, guys. Seriously, if you haven't checked it out, play with the new slab designer. It's phenomenal. And make sure you guys watch to the end of the video because there is going to be a giveaway that you guys are going to be excited about as well. But let's take a look. So the first card that we guessed was this Heracross here. And I guessed that this was going to come back as an 8, right? I felt like it probably was going to fall a little short of getting anything good. The card itself is in really good shape, but I did feel like there was a print line on the front of the card, which for some reason I'm having a harder time seeing now. But that was my prediction, was gonna be an 8. And this is actually the card that inspired me to start doing breaks in the first place. Facing off against that Pinsir, what are we gonna get? A 9! Okay! So I guess the rest of the card being in phenomenal shape actually helped us out there. And it looks so beautiful, look at that. Incredible, dude. Holographic Heracross with a 9, that beautiful blue label looks super duper good. Here, I'll actually take it out of the sleeve. There we go, look at that. That is incredible, dude. It looks so good. It looks so, big swirl there. Not a bad start to the day, man. I will take a 9 on that. And our next card was a Meganium. And I predicted that this, and this came from the same box actually. I predicted this Meganium was gonna be an 8.5. So let's see where this Meganium ended up. And by the way, my favorite Gen 2 starter, a 9.5. So I clearly undershot on both the first 2 cards, getting a full grade higher actually on both cards. I will take that, dude. This Meganium is beautiful. I am very, very happy with that. That is a big win for us. All right, our next one is a really big one. This is the Lost Thunder Lugia, and this is one of the most valuable cards I actually own. So a 10 would be phenomenal. I guessed that it was gonna be a 9.5. I'm pretty sure the centering was a little bit off, and it's really hard to get a 10, man. It really is. So will I get that 9.5 that I guessed? Yes, I actually hit the nail right on the head, and I land a 9.5 on this Lost Thunder Rainbow Lugia. Like I said, one of my most valuable cards in my collection. That's actually quite beautiful. Up next is our Call of Legends Fortress. And this came from one of my Call of Legends breaks, and I'm a big Fortress fan. I love this holo. I'm glad I went with the red label. That was my final decision to kind of match the red on Fortress. I thought that that looked way too good to pass up on. And I predicted it was gonna be an 8.5 and a 9. I feel like I guess I undershoot a little bit. I'll take a 9 on that. So far, great. My guesses have been solid, but I definitely missed on those first two. A nice 9 there on the Call of Legends Fortress. Now we get to some of the good stuff. The Evolving Skies Alt Art Dragonite. I guessed it to be a 9.5. One of the most coveted new cards that has come out, and it is a 9.5. So I hit the nail on the head on this one. And a beautiful thing, I am gonna do a giveaway for this exact card right here in my hand, TGA 9.5 Dragonite V. If you guys want to pick one up or enter the giveaway, check out the link in the description below to enter the giveaway. It's going to be a Twitter giveaway, so you head over to Twitter, you just follow me in TGA, and then you have a chance to win this Dragonite V, and I could sign it if you want, or sign something with it if you want. And definitely go follow me on Twitter and check out this giveaway so you don't miss out on this beautiful 9.5 blue Dragonite V from TGA. Get this giveaway. Go enter it right now. And we've got a few other cards left. We've got the Celebi promo, which looks so good with the purple. I'm glad I went with the purple label on this. Looks super duper clean. This is the Japanese Alt Art promo. I predicted this to be a 9.5, and it is a 9.5, just falling shy of that 10. I will take a 9.5 on the Celebi. This is a beautiful card. And last but not least, I don't know which order they're in, but I have two Charizards. I predicted them both to be 9.5s. So that's where I'm at with that, right? I predicted both these Charizards to be 9.5s. I went with the black label, and there's a 9.5 on the first one, and I'll just do a quick flip. Will it be a 9.5? It is. Two 9.5 Charizard VMAX from the Shiny Volt in our Guess That grade. Overall, I cannot complain about those grades. I'm actually really happy with those grades. I got a higher grade on that Heracross than I thought, and this Dragonite was beautiful. This is going to be a giveaway, so you guys can pick this up right now. If you guys want to pick up this giveaway, enter it, description below. And one other card I want to show off that I got graded was from my most recent break, the EX Legend Maker break. I ended up getting this Pinsir graded at a 9.5. This is legit one of my favorite cards. I had to show you guys this because it's honestly one of my favorite cards. Look at that swirl. This is one of my favorites in my collection, so I'm really happy about this one too. So that is that for this Guess That Grade, another epic episode of our TCG openings with some vintage pulls and much, much more. If you want to submit your cards to TGA, you guys can go to thegradingauthority.com. Get your cards graded for 20 bucks, man. 30 business days, they'll look amazing. We just added new color options, silver, yellow, and gray. White, actually, silver, yellow, and white. Check those out, and if you're ever looking for Pokemon cards, go to unpluggedgamestore.com for the best prices for Pokemon cards. You already know about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this Guess That Grade. Hit that like button down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.